Tiếng Liên Lạc rồi.
Been waiting my whole life to feel the love inside my bones. Yeah, it's closer to hopeless, and happiness ain't far from home. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. All these feelings, oh la, yeah. I'm crashing through the ceiling and I wanna fly, yeah. Ooh, don't try, yeah. Let me make me feel the air, don't fly, yeah. Emotions are foreign, yeah, but when they speak I understand. I'm unbroken and stubborn, yeah. Love exactly who I am. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. All these feelings, oh la, yeah. I'm crashing through the ceiling and I wanna fly, yeah. Ooh, don't try, yeah. Let me make me feel the air, don't fly, yeah.
Look at my soul when your lightning crosses mine, got me higher than my hopes tonight.
There's an earthquake in my soul when your lightning crosses mine, got me higher than my hopes tonight. All these feelings, oh la, yeah. I'm crashing through the ceiling and I wanna fly, yeah. Ooh, don't try, yeah. Let me make me feel the air, gonna fly, yeah. I'm gonna fly, yeah.
There were times we would drive till the sun broke, through the black of the night on a wide road, paved in dreams that led me back to you. Lit a spark in the dark, gave me no choice. In the night, you're a light in the white noise. Suddenly, my heart says something new. In your eyes, I swear I feel forever, and I'm falling into the deepest part of you. In your eyes, I feel my heart surrender as you're the breakthrough. I'm lost inside your deep blue. Inside your deep blue.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Passing cars, skipping stars when I
cannot hear
got
anything.
you. In your arms, cover scars like a tattoo. Rescue
I can hear you. I can hear you
back
guys.
all the pieces.
Why?
How did I miss the times that you came through? When every glance was a chance I was born
Sonia
to.
Vincent.
Now I see you're everything I needed. In your eyes, I swear I feel forever, and I'm falling into the deepest part of you. In your eyes, I feel my heart surrender as you're the breakthrough. I'm lost inside your deep blue. Inside your deep blue.
Hi everyone, I think welcome to this webinar, Introduction to 3D Printing, okay, 3D Design and Tinkercad. Okay, so today we actually have a special guest from Vincent Joe Lab, okay, Mr. Vincent, I think Mr. Vincent is here. Can the host help to post up Mr. Vincent? Right. So just to introduce myself, I will be your moderator for today. My name is Mr. Tony Ng. Okay, I'm a Rural EDU team, part of the Rural EDU team. I actually handle northern of Malaysia. Okay, sorry, in the central of Malaysia, Perak, and actually KL. And I'm also a co-founder for Intellect Education Solution. Right. So, Mr. Vincent, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's nice,
Afternoon.
nice to have you here. Okay, so
Yeah.
today we are also lucky to have Pustaka Sarawak to host this webinar as well. Okay, thanks to them. Okay, so I how to say? Please, everyone go and like this Pustaka Sarawak and also their Instagram, follow their Facebook page for more coming activities. Okay, so without further ado, maybe I will do some simple introduction for Mr. Vincent, okay, before we start. So Mr. Vincent is currently part of the Rural EDU team for Sabah and Sarawak State. So anyone here who need help for rural products, okay, or you need some training for rural product, you can always search for Mr. Vincent. Okay, currently he's also a founder for Vincent Joe Lab, and recently he also set up his own center. Okay, very nice center at Sarawak there. Okay, uh, just a brief intro of Mr. Vincent. He actually have more than 12 years of working experience. Okay, uh, in many roles. Okay, recently he actually part of our core team for Rural EDU. Okay, we actually both of us actually work together previously in Citron. Okay, one of the company for mother company who give birth to Rural. Okay, both of us working together for the whole year
Hello,
to set up the whole Rural platform. And currently, he's currently in Sarawak. Okay, so besides that, currently he have a very deep passions in especially STEM education. Okay, and also he have a very good vision to bringing robotic and coding to the masses, and especially for those Sarawak, okay, Sarawakian, you are very lucky to have Mr. Vincent here, right? So I think most of don't need to take so much time to talking so much. Maybe later we move on to even detail later on. Okay. Today we'll be sharing about the 3D design and Tinkercad. So any one of you who have experience in 3D design, welcome. If any one of you who don't have 3D design or 3D printer experience, okay, welcome too. Okay, and then I hope you learn something from here. So before I pass the mic to Mr. Vincent, if any one of you here, can you type your name and also your state and the live comment there so you can know where you are from. Okay, can you type your name and also your state? Okay. So I'm actually from I'm based in Penang. Okay, I'm Tony. I'm based in Penang. Okay, how I saw David Yong. Okay, hi David Yong and WK. Okay, hi, hi everyone. Okay, so without further ado, maybe let's welcome Mr. Vincent. Okay, Vincent. Over to you. Vincent, maybe you need to unmute your mic. Okay, maybe Mr. Vincent have something to do there. Okay, okay, while waiting for Mr. Vincent to come back, maybe can every one of you to share this webinar link to all your friends to ask them to join us. Okay, so so that your friend can actually benefit from this webinar, especially later on we'll touch a little bit about the 3D printing and also the CAD. What is the CAD design, the Tinkercad? Oh yeah, so before, maybe while waiting for Mr. Vincent, I just share about a reminder. Okay, if you got any questions, okay, just post your question anytime to the chat room there. Okay, we will answer you from time to time, and later on we will also have a Q&A session. Okay, later on at the last 10 minutes, roughly. And next is Mr. Vincent actually will cover this 3D printing, and then what is CAD, and he also cover the Tinkercad. Okay, how you're going to use the Tinkercad to draw your design, and then 3D slicing. Okay, so if you confuse what is 3D slicing is basically how to convert your design into a G code. Okay, if you wonder what is G code, later Mr. Vincent will tell you. Okay, and also we'll touch about our 3D printer and 3D pen. Okay, so if you looking for 3D printer, maybe later on our Vincent will share some of these opinion. All right, so without further ado, okay, Mr. Vincent, over to you. Vincent, your mic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can okay. So without further ado, we just start with this webinar. Okay, can you all see the screen? Okay. So basically, this webinar is to introduce what is 3D printing, what is CAD, computer aided design, and then we are also talking about a little bit about and then a 3D slicing software that used to export the file for the printer to print out your design. Okay, so what is 3D printing, or also known as additive manufacturing? It's a way of making things. It's a form of digital fabrications, which is using a computer control tools to make physical objects. Like consider it in a inkjet printer. It's a computer control tool working on a 2 dimension. So it has an ink cartridge moving back and forth, depositions in, and the second mechanism is the paper feeders. So it feeds the paper. When these 2 movements combine, we can get a 2-dimensional image. A 3D printer, can you all hear me, by the way?
Yeah, Vincent, we actually can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So a 3D printer is just add one more dimensions. So instead of ink, a 3D printer add one more dimensions, which is the depth of it. So instead of ink, it print of a physical substance like PLA. We have PLA. We have like ABS. So it's a substance like plastic. It prints like one layer at a time to create a 3D objects. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's the general idea. CAD means computer designs. So actually, it refers to a wide variety of computer applications for user to create content. Like you have AutoCAD. These are the example for like commercial CAD, and also you have open source CAD, like Blender, SketchUp, the proprietary by Google CAD applications. So today we are going to introduce to you all Tinkercad. It's a free 3D modeling program that runs on a web browser. So it's very simple to use, and it has been widely used in like school to introduce geometry. Okay, so if all of you have a laptop or PC, you can open Google Chrome browser. Okay, then you go to this website, Tinkercad.com, join classes. And then you can join the classes by keying this class code. Okay, so is everyone ready? So you can create your so if you already entered, can you give me a thumbs up?
Hi, can the host up the screen again for Mr. Vincent's screen? Okay, I think some of the students would like to join the Tinkercad activities.
Tony, I think he went off.
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. Maybe I will hush up about the 3D design.
Okay.
Okay, for all of your information, actually Tinkercad is one of the software provided by the Autodesk. Okay, it's quite how to say? Let me share the screen so everyone can actually see clearly. It's a software actually provided by Tinkercad. if any one of you have heard about the AutoCAD before, it's a software for designing the professional CAD design. Okay, that's the company. That's the software actually belong to the company called Autodesk. Okay, and actually Autodesk have developed another software called Tinkercad, which is much more user friendly and not really so tough to learn about CAD design. Because if you talk about AutoCAD, there's a lot of those coding, you need to know before you even know how to do the design. Okay, so when Autodesk found this issue, then they start to design the Tinkercad, and Tinkercad is a simplified version, okay, to learn about the 3D design. Okay, so for this Tinkercad, you can actually learn online, okay, by yourself. And in fact, it's actually free. All right, just like what is mentioned here. Actually, Tinkercad is free, so you don't need to download. Okay, you don't need to actually download those big giant software, which is each file is really like how many gig, and it will lower down your computer performance. You don't need to do that. Tinkercad, actually you can start drawing your design online. Okay, it's on the line. Okay, so maybe I can click start designing. I can show you some example. Okay, so I think Mr. Vincent is back. So Vincent, are you okay? If you're okay,
Yeah,
then
okay.
I'll go to you. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, okay. So have you all entered this classroom? Let's see. Okay. Never mind. I will just straight away.
Okay, Mr. Vincent, just to clarify, I think maybe the participant will ask. So all we need to do is just key in the link tinkercad.com/join class, and then we have to join as the students, right?
Yeah, when you key in this tinkercad.com join class, so it will ask you to join the class, and then you
So
just key the
code.
code, the class code, which is WVPD Z3T3 TW and 2Q.
U2Q. Okay, so I have actually entered. Okay, so Mr. Vincent, some of the student here also maybe we have a question that from Sophie, that what is the nickname given? So we actually need to key in some nickname, okay, to enter the class. Is it?
No need. You can just key in any name that you like.
The system state we cannot find that nickname.
Let me check again. Okay. Okay. I will add your Google. You can comment, and then I will just type in like Sophie Sharif. I will add your name inside there, and then you try to like go in again.
Okay, so Mr. Sophie Sarif, okay, maybe later on you can key in your full name here, your nickname here into the joint class Tinkercad system, okay? So later on you can actually access into the system. Mr. Vincent, while you key in the system, maybe you want to show some other things first, or something like Tinkercad. What is the actually Tinkercad is all about?
Okay, give me a moment. See. Okay. So today we're actually going to like learn how to bring like the design by using the Tinkercad. So for you to try, I will need you to sign in. So it's going to take a while.
While waiting, maybe I can share my my screen. Okay, I will show you everyone a short video. Okay, how actually Tinkercad is all about. So can the host help me to share my screen? Thank you. Okay.
Oh, hi. You like making stuff with your hands, right? Well, have you ever wondered if a computer could help you make even more? Then you should know about Tinkercad. It helps you make just about anything your imagination can dream up. Watch this. From the very first click, you're making stuff, a thing, a mess, anything you want. The best part is, Tinkercad helps you take your designs out of me and into the real world by showing you how to 3D print them. Laser cut. Build them with bricks. Or make things light up and spin. Why? Because with Tinkercad you can. And because keeping things flat is boring. Sign up for Tinkercad now. It's free and works on any computer with an internet connection. Not to mention, it saves your designs for you up there. Be a change maker and join the growing community of curious doers in the 3D fun revolution, Tinkercad. From mind to design in minutes.
So that's all about the Tinkercad. Is basically is a software for you to design anything. Okay, it's a free software. All you need to have is just the internet itself, and then you can actually start designing. Okay, so is Mr. Vincent ready?
Okay, so these are the nickname that is available. I will just to how I'm going to show my this screen, huh?
Maybe Vincent, you just announce straight away here to to everyone which nickname you have to key in will be better.
For David Yong, the nickname you can use is all small capital in one word. David Yong at 735. And then for Po Kai Sian is Po Kai Sian at 767. All in one word, small capital. Okay, okay.
Okay, maybe Vincent, you can actually start sharing the what's inside Tinkercad will do.
Okay. Okay. So maybe what you all can do is to just go to your browser and then you can create your own account. Okay, you can go here. Then after you create your own account, you create in this new design. So it will bring you to this work plan. Okay. So over here is the Viewcube. So you can select the Viewcube. To see your object. So let's go to Basic Chat. Okay. Then you can just select any shape that you like. Is everyone able to create your own account? If not, then
Mr. Vincent, I think we can just move on. You can show everybody how it works. Because I think about the timing issue, so we don't have much time on waiting everyone to join. Yeah.
okay. So later on, you can just see if you cannot follow, then you can just always go back and then watch again this video.
It's 15 hours.
So because this is using online, so you need to have good internet connections. So because now we are doing streaming, so you can see that when I create the basic shape, right, it actually doesn't really show until it wait for a while. So now, when you select the object, you can see that this is the Viewcube. You can just select it to do the orbit with just click on it, okay? Or you also can use mouse. You can use the mouse to orbit the object by right click, okay? And then you can use a wheel of the mouse to do hand zoom in and then zoom out. So these are the, when you click on the object, they will show a properties, object properties. So different object have different object properties. For example, this one, you see. And you can also scale the object by clicking Shift on your keyboard, and then you drag. Then you can scale it by locking the ratio. Okay, if you did not, then you can actually see the difference. The radius, you can see, you can choose the radius to change the shape of the object. Okay. Okay. The step actually is the roughness of the surface. Basically, you can like play yourself to see like how you're going to change it. And there is a con here for you to raise the object or put it down. Okay. Then you can delete the object by press the delete button on your keyboard, or you can also put it, press the delete button on the control panel here. Okay, now let's try to do a tray. So this, you can see a transparent object is for you to do let's say you want to alter the shape of the object. You can select these two objects and then you combine it. So the transparent object will cut off like this. You can see. Okay. So this one, you can select to change the object. Become like this. Okay, let's try to make a chair with this. So you can always edit the object and try to see is it in the right position. Then again, you can just group it. Can ungroup because it's out of alignment. You can see. So you can select these two objects and then click here to align it to be centered. So now you can see it's more aligned. Then you click group. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now we move on to the slide. Okay, so now you can try to use the whole properties to create a map. Okay, you can try it. And if you have any issue with that, you can let me know. You can choose any shape you want. You just can use whatever that is available to create your map.
So Vincent, just to ask, I think from the participant point of view, for the shape there is actually ready-made in the Tinkercad, is it?
Yeah, some of the shape you have to like use your creativity to create your own shape. Like for example, if you want to do like a house, right? For instance.
So basically, is that we have the option to use the shape which is already ready-made in there in the software, and we also have the option to customize the shape that we need. Is it in the software itself?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's more like a very professional software that is already, ready-made in the market. It's actually very compatible with that professional software already. Is it?
Yes. You can create a simple one, not too complicated. because if it's too complicated, then this software will not be able to support like big object. Like if you want to print like a very big size of object, then you might having a problem. So if you are facing that problem, you can actually use Autodesk or Fusion 360. They actually offer education license. Then you can use it to explore like a more complicated design.
I see. So after we have done our design, right? So what are we going to do next? How to create the complete product after printed out product. So after we design, what is the step that we need to do next so that we can have the complete products?
Okay, let's say let's try to do a mark here. Then okay.
Maybe let's say
Let's go.
we use the cylinder as a reference. So we have a cylinder and we're going to print a cylinder. So after this, what's the next step we have to do? So to have a complete product.
Okay, you need to export it like to generate the G code by using the like slicing software. So later I will talk about that. So okay, let's try to group it first. So it's just a very simple design. Just really
Mr. Vincent, maybe due to the timing issue, probably you just show us how to use the sample design that you have right now to create, use the 3D slicing.
okay. Let's see. You can just export this to STL. Okay, so you can just export it anywhere you want.
So just now you mentioned
So
about
after,
STL. So is it to do 3D printing, we must use STL format?
to do the printing, you actually need a G code. To generate the G code, you have to use the slicing software. Like you can choose. Maybe I will show you the slide. Let's see.
So the slicing software only accept STL format, is it?
No, it can also accept object. Depend on the slicing software that you pass. Generally accept. Okay, I show you the screen. Okay, so you can actually use Cura. Cura is the slicing software that you can use to do the slicing. I need to see. I need to open the Cura. I show you my entire screen. So this is the Cura. Okay, so you can select the file, open file. So this is just now the STL file. So here you can see like your design will be here. You can also scale it out, make it big. Then here you can use layer view. Layer view is for you to see like how will the 3D printer works, like layer by layer. It's taking too much resources. So basically, this software is for you to slice it into a file format that the 3D printer can read to print your design.
So, Mr. Vincent, I just want maybe from the participant, they might want asking that. So, to have the complete products ready, there are a few steps to do. The first step is always the designing step. Okay, so we have an option to use the Tinkercad. Okay, to draw the design. I believe there are a lot more software out there, which I previously have learned something called SolidWorks and AutoCAD. I personally learned it before. So that will be a very useful software to draw the design. And then the second step will be the most important step, which is for Mr. Vincent just mentioned. We can use Cura. So Cura is a software that for everyone to convert their design, okay, into a code. Okay, it's a coding. So everyone might be wondering, okay, what is G code? What is the coding? Basically, the G code is the positioning of the machine, the tools, okay, the middle point of the tools which have the material to print out. So G code actually will position this machine, okay, the tool to move around to every position that according to your design. So Cura is the important step, and previously, I believe some of you okay, might have experience that we can actually use Cura to get the G code, and then most of the suppliers out there who provide 3D printing, they also require everyone to send the STL file. So STL file is very common usage. So we can get the STL files from your design and then put it into Cura. So Cura can actually help you to generate the G code. So after you generate the G code, then we actually can put into your 3D printing, and you can automatically read the G code and print out the software for you. Is it correct, Mr. Vincent?
Yeah, exactly. That's correct. So just now, someone asking any recommended 3D printer. So I can recommend you this very easy. You can just assemble yourself, or it's come assembled. If you have like local shop that is can supply, is this printer called Enter 3. Let me show you. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, Enter 3 Pro. So this one is very user friendly. You can try this one. And also you can buy this from Citron website. And then beside that, you also can use 3D pen.
Okay, just to add on for the participants who are asked for the recommended questions for 3D printer. So the one that I'm showing on the screen right now is actually selling by Citron. Okay, one of the I can say quite high quality and yet still affordable 3D printer, and it's still in 3-in-1. Okay, for your information, when you go in to choose the 3D printer, okay, from my personal experience, don't choose something look like this. Okay, there's a 3D printer who look like this. Let me put that on the screen for everyone. Okay. Okay, host, can you help me put up the screen? Okay, so this 3D printer, we call it the Delta 3D printer. So when you go in to choose the 3D printer, my recommendation, my personal recommendation, don't go for this type of Delta 3D printer. The reason why is that the maintenance for this type of 3D printer is very high. Okay, so after you use a few times, you have to do maintenance. After you use a few times, you have to do maintenance. So I personally have tried this before. The maintenance cost, I don't say cost, maintenance to your time invested to just to calibrate all those things is very high. I don't really recommend this type, but instead I actually recommended like just now what I showed, the snap maker. So that type, okay, we call it the XYZ type of the 3D printer. Okay, this type will be much more stable. Okay, and then the maintenance, the time that you use to maintain it will be lesser, right? So this will be the best choice. Choose something that XYZ. Okay, don't go for Delta. Although Delta is quite, how to say, less cost. Okay, it's actually quite cheap. By within 1,000 ringgit, you can get that Delta type, but those Delta type usually will cause you a lot of trouble later on. Okay, so go for this kind. Although it's a little bit more expensive, but it will save you a lot of time on troubleshooting. Right, this is for my sharing. Okay, Mr. Vincent, maybe you can add on for the 3D pen.
Okay, 3D pen. I will recommend you to use this this Sunlo brand. Sunlu. So this one, it can support like 3 type of temperatures, which is PCL, the low temperature. PCL is a type of filaments that the melting point is around like 60 degrees. So it's actually very safe for like young children. So this one is basically you can choose PLA and then PCL. Of course, it also can support ABS. ABS and PLA, the melting point is the same. It's around 190 up to maybe 210. It's quite hot, so I have to be careful lah. If you have like young kids or playing with 3 pen, then make sure that the parent is around. But if you are using the PCL, then no problem, no issue, because the melting point is very low, like around 60 degrees. So it's quite safe for them to play. All right.
Vincent, just maybe from a participant by asking. So just like you mentioned, we got PLA, we got ABS type of materials, right? So let's say we have a kids at home and we give them a 3D pen. Which type of material that preferable for them to use? And maybe some lower cost, they will not use it always. They just want to learn something.
Okay, I will strongly recommend PLA. If you want to like compare with ABS, PLA is like biodegradable, and also it's no because if you are using like compared with ABS, right? ABS have this kind of smell, so it's actually not safe for children. So if you have more budget, then you can go for PCL. PCL is low temperature, is safe, and they also is safe for children.
Oh, does it mean that PCL will be a little bit more costly compared to PLA?
Yes, PCL is twice the price of PLA. Also, like even filaments also have different quality. Like some they can up to like 1 kg can up to like 180, and then some as cheap as like maybe 20, 30 ringgit you can get already. So, and again, if a low quality filaments will it's not recommended because they will have a bubble. If there is a bubble or there is some fiber, it will cause damage to your nodule, and also the maintenance is not worth the time lah. So I recommend you choose something that is average, above average.
I see.
If you want to use on your 3D printer.
I see. So to have more safe in terms of health, so we can go for PCA, but a little bit more costly. But PLA will be another option, which is low cost and general usage, and will not cause a lot of health issue as well. But for ABS, I actually got read through the internet. Okay, they show that for ABS, better we put some place that the wind can actually blow up the smoke away. Okay, so they won't have that kind of smell, which is will cause for our health. I see.
Yes. Some that put the exhaust fan to exhaust like suck out the air. Okay, and if you are like you want something more solid, then you can go for PETG.
Oh, okay, this will be another type of material.
Yes.
But I just now gone through Lelong and then some Citron website, which I can see that mostly in Malaysia we can get the PLA filament easily. Okay, compared to others type of. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we are about to end our webinar. So before we end, is anyone on the floor got any question you'd like to ask Mr. Vincent? So if you have, please type down your questions on our live comment here. So Mr. Vincent can actually help to answer all your questions. Okay, let me see. So 3D printer recommendation, we have done it. Okay, I always recommend go for those XYZ type. So don't go for those Delta, although it's cheap and although it's very cheap cost and then easy to set up and then but at the end you have a headache. Okay, how to do the maintenance part. So I always like Mr. Vincent, and behind you there's a XYZ type of 3D printer. I think that would be a very high recommended 3D printer as well. All right. Yeah. So I think on the floor there is anything you need to cover before we end, Mr. Vincent?
Yeah, like what you recommend just now, a snapbacker. If you have budget, then go for it.
Snapbacker,
It's
yeah, I
very
know.
good. Yes, yes. So if you are like on a tight budget, like you have like 1,000, then maybe you can get the just now I recommended one. That one actually not bad. Like now a lot of you know, like Kaki DIY, they do
Yep.
this face shield. So they actually have a lot of this ender printer. They use that for the face shield productions. Yeah.
I see. That will be a good recommendation. So I think there is no questions on the floor. So I think there will be an end of this session. So I would like to say thanks everyone for joining us today. You know, I hope you learned something. So basically for 3D printer, just to summarize for everyone, there's 3 steps for you to do. The first step is always the design. Okay, after design, then we'll go for use the software, example, use Cura software to create the G code, convert from the design to convert it to a coding, okay, a G code. And then after that, we use the G code, put into a pen drive or put into your SD card and slot into your 3D printer, and then just let it print, all right? So the recommended filament to use in Malaysia, we can generally can get easily the GPLA and ABS. There's a 2 general usage of the filament. Okay, if you want to go for better quality, okay, you can choose PCA. Okay, that's one of the good quality. And for 3D pen, if you have children at home, okay, highly recommended buy one for them. You know, let them try. Okay, let them build something. You know, so that we can learn something since young time, right? So I think that's all from us. So once again, thanks to Mr. Vincent from Vincent Joe Lab, and also Pustaka Sarawak for giving us this opportunity, you know, to share this good knowledge for everyone. All right. So from there, thank you everyone. So I will say bye bye. Thank you, Mr.
See you
Vincent.
guys.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.